Hello, everyone. My name is Esther Suhr Cooper from Southern California, USA, and I'm so excited and honored to be presenting the introduction of a new era in diet for life concept. GCOOP's DreamCatcher Team USA presents Discovery Detox Diet 352. According to OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the United States is the most obese country on the planet, where 38.2% of the people above the age of 15 are obese. Mexico is not far behind at 32.4%. GCOOP is coming to Mexico soon to help you get out of obesity and poverty, so get ready. The fundamental cause of obesity and overweight is an energy imbalance between calories consumed and calories expended. Globally, there has been an increased intake of energy-dense foods that are high in fat and sugars, and an increase in physical inactivity due to the increasingly sedentary nature, couch potatoism, of many forms of work, changing modes of transportation, and increasing urbanization. Life after COVID-19, these situations will get worse. On the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's website, there's a page dedicated to obesity, race, ethnicity, and COVID-19, in which the agency blatantly states that obesity worsens outcomes from COVID-19. The page goes on to say that while obesity is complex and is associated with systemic factors like poverty, education, housing, and racial inequality, people should prioritize eating a healthy diet, being active, getting enough sleep, and reducing stress. These things, the CDC says, can help promote weight loss and prevent weight gain, which can then reduce the risk of severe illness from COVID-19. In the early days of pandemic, doctors noticed something about the people severely ill from COVID-19. Many were obese. The link between more apparent as coronavirus swept across the globe and data mounted, and researchers are still trying to figure out why. It says excess weight increases the chances of developing a number of health problems, including heart disease and diabetes, and those are among the conditions that can make COVID-19 patients more likely to get very sick. But there's some evidence that obesity itself can increase the likelihood of serious complications from a coronavirus infection. One study of more than 5,200 infected people, including 35% who were obese, found that the chances of hospitalization rose for people with higher BMIs, even when taking into account other conditions that could put them at risk. Scientists are still studying the factors that might be at play. The way obesity affects the immune system may be one, but say it's another example of the pandemic illuminating existing public health challenges. Obesity may be one reason some countries or communities have been hit hard by the virus. Researchers says in the United States, the obesity rate among adults has climbed for decades and is now at 42%. The rate is even higher among Black and Hispanic Americans. A person who is 5 feet 7 inches tall is considered obese starting at around 190 pounds, or a body mass index, BMI, of 30. The increased risk for serious COVID-19 illness appears more pronounced with extreme obesity, or a BMI of 40 or higher. Researchers say multiple factors likely make it harder for people who are obese to fight a coronavirus infection, which can damage the lungs. Carrying around a lot of extra weight, strains the body, and that excess fat could limit the lungs' ability to expand and breathe. Another issue is chronic inflammation, which often comes with obesity. Inflammation is a natural way our bodies fight harmful intruders like viruses, but long-lasting inflammation isn't healthy and could undermine your body's defenses when a real threat arises. It's like pouring gasoline on a smoldering fire, said Dr. Darius Mozaffarian, an obesity researcher and dean of Tufts University School of Nutrition, Science, and Policy near Boston. And even if people who are obese aren't diagnosed with diabetes or heart disease, Mozaffarian notes their health may not be optimal. So based on several best-selling authors, DDD352 is derived from DDD375. As you will learn through this presentation, that 352 is not to fix any issues with 375 versions in any way. There is no issue. Instead, it is an extension and the next phase to furthering into a lifetime diet series. Therefore, there is a specific need for DDD375 as well, the need for DDD352. I know we want to dive right in to take the fog off of people's minds to clarify what DDD375 stands for and what DDD352 stands for. However, before we do that, we need to first understand about energy and where the source of that energy is coming from to really understand where that energy is taking us to. The first law of thermodynamics simply says energy cannot be created or destroyed. Instead, it can only be converted from one form or to another. Where is the energy coming from and where is it going? For example, a light bulb is energy and is derived from the radiant energy, light energy, from electromagnetic waves of the radiant energy. The energy is due to the heat in the filament as the electrons go through it that generates heat. So you have radiant energy and thermal heat energy as well. So where is the source of radiant and thermal energy coming from? It's not coming from the thin air. It has to come from someplace. Well, I gave you a hint that is coming from the filament as the electrons go through it that gives some resistance that generates heat. Therefore, there is also kinetic or movement energy as well. So where is the kinetic energy coming from? The light bulb is connected to a socket of some kind that gives off electricity, which equals electromagnetic wave, which equals energy. So the second law of thermodynamics, entropy or disorder of a system of any kind or fully contained system. So entropy of any isolated system always increases, and there is nothing that can interfere with it to interfere thermodynamically. So this brings us to understand about the open and closed system, meaning energy systems. Number one, for example, if I have a campfire log, we can say it is an open system because it is interacting with the air, the universe, to generate heat. It isn't isolated from the rest of the systems. But B, or two, although it is very difficult to create a perfectly isolated closed system in our modern society, but for simplification and approximation, if we were to use an ice cooler as an example, is to thermodynamically isolate in the inside of the cooler from the outside, from the rest of the universe. To do this, we have some kind of an insulating material like styrofoam to store ice. However, it is not perfect closed system because it will eventually interact with the universe as the heat from the sun will warm up the cooler and transfer the energy and melt the ice. So reaction coupling to create glucose 6-phosphate. So don't cross your eyes, don't fall asleep, pay attention. This is very important. It is super important to take a glucose molecule, for example, and phosphorylate it. Okay, what is phosphorylation? Why we want to phosphorylate it? Because once you have this phosphate group with negative charges and phosphorylate it, it is much harder to leave the cells. The cells has a tendency to want to hog as much glucose molecules as it can. When the glucose isn't charged, it can easily pass through the cellular membrane, but once it is phosphorylated, it will stay in the cell, and we want it to stay in the cell, right? This glucose 6-phosphate is very crucial to a whole series of processes inside the cells. Unfortunately, the processes process of taking glucose 6 to phosphorylating it requires energy, okay? So like when we have to go to team bonus and team activity, it requires energy. Same thing. It requires endergonic. Well, what kind of energy is endergonic energy? Meaning it is not going to happen spontaneously, but the accompaniment of energy absorption is needed. You need to build your 2 by 2 by 2. Same thing. It is positive delta G. This means we need the energy currency of the cell to make this happen from our good friend ATP cell currency. Wow! To make this happen, we need hydraulics and couple with ATP. That means synthase is a protein that catalyzes the formation of the energy storage molecule adenosine triphosphate. We know adenosine, but we didn't know this was going to help us with weight loss. Plus H2O, water. 3 liters of water, you guys, is which turns to ADP using adenosine diphosphate plus PO phosphodiester bond 2/4, and it is energetically favorable. It is exergonic, meaning the reaction that releases free energy. We like free, don't we? It is the type of energy that releases energy rather than consuming it. We like energy that goes out, expel. We need that to go out of our body, bad energy to go out of our body, don't we? That's what we want. Doesn't this remind you of something and why there is stored fat and why we want to convert our body's mechanism to fat burning energy releasing body types? Well, in order to do that, you need to consume the right kind of energy, the right kind of food. And we're going to learn about that. Okay, so the heat is good energy, which equals strong pressure and acts as detoxification. So heavy metals only released by good energy, and normal temperature never gains weight. So body temperature equals health and life. Even if the body temperature is only 1 Celsius lower, various diseases such as cancer, atopic dermatitis, arthritis, and obesity occurs. That's why diets that lowers the body temperature while forcing weight loss and body fat are forbidden. DDD352 Discovery Detox Diet increases body temperature by 1 degree Celsius, which in turn, many metabolic diseases are better or improved. To do that, we only use 100% food sources that can increase body temperature. DDD352 Discovery Detox Diet uses GCOOPs, GMP certified functional nutrition that is bioavailable, meaning cellular availability. So, keys to detox, which equals losing toxins that prevent good energy in the body. And if you can do this, if you can do this with your perfect diet, your food, your cooking, all that, then go right ahead. But look, from the farmhouse to our dining table, there's a whole lot of addition that we don't want. Well, when we're able to get to that state, we're able to see things like lowering blood pressure, controlling cholesterol, lowers glycogen, regulating sleep pattern, liver detoxification, regulates healthy breathing pattern, increased energy. Weight loss is possible when bad energy, inflammation is detoxified. Hallelujah. Okay, so when we are using energy source that is derived from good heat source, we can start to see that it results to blood, lymph, liver, gallbladder, the vital organs like pancreas, kidneys, and intestines are detoxified. Can you do this with your own food? Of course you can. We've been doing this for all these years, but like I said, there's a whole lot of things that we don't want in there that we didn't know it was in there. That's the problem. So, in a sense, we are discovering the causes of our bad energy consumptions, of carbohydrate addictions, unhealthy eating habits, ravenous eating, overeating, and intoxication of drugs and alcohol that's causing overweight and obesity to skyrocket in the United States. This is leading to those that are suffering from all kinds of diseases and yo-yo caused by too many diets. So, justifying the market need for DDD352. There are over 26,000 diets on the market and possibly even more. For sure, 3 more, right? Energy diet, DDD375, and now DDD352 just with GCOOP, right? So what's next, you ask? One of the issues, well, several actually, GCOOP has a team in Korea that operates their closed system. It's a team-based system, and it was developed by a Korean herbalist. It's excellent product. It's excellent system. The only issue is we had an issue with the additional system cost. We had the addition of issue with the additional product cost or product use, and we don't know. It's not GMP, it's not GCOOP product, and it is a Korean diet menu, okay? And the people here, they wanted all GCOOP's product, 100% GCOOP's product, maybe with a little bit of their own, grocery, right? Until we have Jeep Festa. But DDD375 uses 100% GCOOP's products, no additional system cost, no additional product cost, and the dehydrated rice cracker is GCOOP product. Okay, and the nature of a Korea-based or Asia-based diet, they're already skinny to begin with. When an Asian decides to diet, they're usually already very lean and small size and wants to be smaller size, K-pop small. Okay, however, when a Westerner or United States, people, the top obese nation, decides to diet, they don't want to diet. They are fine with the way they look and feel, okay? It's usually mandatory order from their physician saying along the lines of, if you don't lose weight, i.e. heart issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, or their work gives them a formal warning and could be faced with formal termination. It's legal if you get to certain weight of obesity for their work to terminate you. Yeah, this is scary, right? DDD375 was chosen by our USA team DREAMCATCHER as the more preferred diet method and deemed better fit for the American or Western lifestyle due to the 100% GCOOP supplements and protein meal replacements. And our diet is very different than any other diets on the market because it is a discovery of what balancing nutritional deficiency can do to the body when it's given balanced functional micronutrients with protein-based diets for the first time in their life. Many times it is. So, are we replacing DDD375? The answer is absolutely not. DDD375 is the almost perfect diet for the first time detox diet, and actually it will be the perfect diet if you're in Mars. Yeah, if you go to Mars, if you're going to actually live there with Jeff Bezos, okay, take GCOOP's vitamins. That's all the space you have in your bag, okay? By going through the full 15-day detoxification phase through DDD375, your body is ready to go into the next phase, DDD352. And DDD352 is what you would learn to create your diet for life and stick with it. So let's define DDD375 versus DDD352. Now, DDD375 stands for DreamCatcher's Detox Diet. DreamCatcher is our team name. Our team consists of our team captain, Kay Choi from Seattle. Yeah, we have a team captain too from Washington who became Diamond. And you are so deserving, okay? Well deserved. And you should really be crowned royal. The diet focuses on 3 days of detox, 7 days of diet, and 5 days of maintenance. It is a total of 15 days diet tox system, whereas DDD352 stands for 3-day discovery that begins on Friday through Sunday. In order to start the 5-day detox with 5 times protein shakes, that is now 3 times protein shake meal replacements with 2 lean protein-based meals that contains guided calorie restrictions and approved list of proteins and negative vegetables from Monday through Friday. Then the 2-day weekend is when we have slightly more leniency to phase into integrating into family lifestyle and real living. This was what was lacking in the DDD375 and discouraged people from doing an extended lifetime diet. For people needing to lose more than 10 seasonal pounds, it had gaps. So, the importance of protein. Know your macros. We realize we don't know our macros from micros. No, that's not protein. That is fat. Oh my goodness. As we learned about the laws of thermodynamics 1 and 2, knowing our macros, macronutrition that comes from the 3 primary food groups such as protein, carbs, and fats, and how they use the energy. So nutrients are substances needed for growth, energy provision, and other body functions. Macronutrients are those nutrients required in large amounts that provide an energy needed to maintain body functions and carry out the activity of daily life. Carbohydrates are the body's preferred fuel source because it converts into usable energy and is easier for the body than converting fat or protein into fuel. Protein is extremely difficult to store as fat. Voila! Such as your brain, muscles, and cells all need carbohydrates to function. When you consume carbohydrates, the food is converted into sugars, glucose, that enters the bloodstream. These sugars in the form of glucose can be an immediate source of energy or stored in the body cell to be used at another time. Can't touch this. No, you can't touch this. I'm telling you, no. Okay? Complex carbohydrates such as polysaccharides and oligosaccharides are made up of long strings of sugar units that take up longer for the body to break down and use. However, they're going to still spike up the sugar at one point or another. It's a deferred payment, okay? That's all. Complex carbs have a more steady impact on blood glucose level, okay? But like I said, it's going to spike somewhere down the line. Simple carbohydrates, don't even think about it. Don't even look at it. Don't go anywhere near it. Monosaccharides and disaccharides are made up of either 1 or 2 sugar units that can be broken down fairly quickly in the body. Simple carbs have a fleeting impact on blood sugar levels. Blood sugar and energy levels typically rise quickly and drop after consuming simple carbs. So which section is allowed in the DDD352, do you think? Oh, great job, Esther. Yes, great carbs. Eat me anytime. So fill this up with more than half of your plate and eat this first, okay? So, are we able to consume good carbs? No. Why? During the weight loss phase, although these are nutritious, the body will withhold it as ransom. So we can't touch these either. Not until you get to your goal and kept your weight off for at least a year. The whole year is what it takes to reset your body's metabolic makeup. When we get to diamond, we can have a fling. Every level up from diamond, we can have a weekend fling. But until diamond and weight loss goal, they seem to go hand in hand. No cheating. All right. So why 1,200 calorie restrictions? Well, DDD352 consists of 100% micronutrients provided by the supplements in the D&C 3-day detox with protein found in the Smart package. During the 3-day discovery phase, 2 protein shakes and supplements complete this phase. That is it. During the 5-day detox phase, you get 5 times protein shakes, or during the 375, we're taking the 7-day portion and putting it into 5, and we're modifying it. So it used to be 5 times protein shakes, which equaled 90 calories per scoop. So 2 scoops per meal replacement equal, and 5 times that is 900 calories. We're taking those and then we're replacing those 2 calories. So 2 lean proteins and complex carbs are replacing the 2 protein shakes. So we can't make that into, how many meals can you put together at 180 calories? None, right? So this is the reason why we gave you an extra allowance. So the total of 1,200 calories are allowanced. In fact, during the 5-day detox phase, the 5 protein meal replacement shakes from DDD352 are replaced with 2 protein shakes. That is, including negative carbs or eat me anytime cruciferous types of high protein packed vegetables as meals. The meals contain no salts, sugar, and almost no fats, or any simple carbs, as well as legumes and starchy vegetables are taken out in the total phase until you get to your goal, okay, and maintained it. During the second 2-day weekend diet is when we introduce reality meals and gives you a chance to make good choices of food selections to enjoy with the family without gaining the weight. Difficult assignments, but that's how we can gradually phase you back to reality maintenance phase. The 5 and 2 days are repeated until the dieter reaches their milestone goal weight or their goal weight period. Then moves to 3-day back to reality maintenance program. Should life happen and weight begins to gain more than 2 pounds, we suggest 3-day emergency phase detox. Stay with 2 protein shakes and only 1 meal with lean protein meal, and fill half your plate with eat me anytime vegetables and try to finish them first before you start on your proteins. The high fiber enzymes and high plant-based proteins will help with the elimination and protein breakdown and fills you up and keeps you sustained for a long time. So let's go through some schooling here. The storing fat mechanism. Fat stores in your body consists of triglycerides. You'll also find triglycerides in your blood and cholesterol. Triglycerides form from fats and carbohydrates in your food. When you have a meal, the calories that are not used immediately are converted into triglycerides and stored in your fat cells for future use. To lose fat, you must use up more calories than you consume. Increasing your activity level is the best way to burn calories, combined with a reduction in your daily calorie intake, which gives you a fewer calories to burn off. 1 pound of body fat are equivalent to 3,500 calories. To lose 1 pound per week, you need to burn an extra 500 calories daily. So removing excess fat. While any exercise burns calories, not all exercise burns fat. During exercise, your body uses calorie from carbohydrates first. Once these are stored up, triglycerides are released from the fat stores and you start burning fat. The key is to consistently consume fewer calories than you need if you want to burn fat until you've reached your goal weight. Even if you exercise but still eat more calories than necessary, the excess calories will end up stored as triglycerides. This is why we do not consume the 3 white carbs, white rice, white flour, and white sugar, as well as salts during the whole weight loss phase of our program until you are at back to reality maintenance phase. So count your calorie. To calculate how many calories you need to burn in order to burn fat, you need to calculate how many calories you eat daily and your basal metabolic rate. Your BMR is the number of calories you need daily just to survive. Typically, it accounts for 60 to 75% of your daily calorie usage. The other 25 to 40% is burned by your activities. You can use a BMR calculator available available online. The calculator will want to know your age, gender, height, and weight. For example, a 25-year-old male with a height of 5 feet 10 inches and weighing 160 pounds needs 1717 calories daily, whereas a female with the same statistics need 1551 calories per day. Use the Harris-Benedict formula to then calculate your total daily needs. This multiplies your BMR by an exercise-related factor. For example, the factor for sedentary couch potatoism is 1.2, and for the extremely active, 1.9. We are consuming 1,200 total calories per day with 3 times protein shake meal replacement and 2 times protein sources from food. Activities to burn fat. Any activity burns calories, but some form of activity are better for burning fat. According to Ace Fit, high intensity exercise like an aerobics class, cycling or skiing is better for burning calories and fat. Strength training is another method of burning excess calories to form muscle. Although you burn energy calories while lifting weights, you burn fat in the rest period immediately after. Ace Fit suggests 60 minutes of aerobic exercise daily for long-term weight control. Low-intensity exercise such as Pilates or yoga will help tone your muscles, but are not typically fat-burning. So let's go into 3-day discovery. Woo! All right. So it is, again, 3-day discovery, 5-day detox, and 2-day diet for life and for the rest of your life. So what are we discovering, Esther? Number 1, we're discovering what kind of energy your body is comprised of. And number 2, we're discovering what habits are causing your weight gain. Number 3, discover when you get hungry and how much. And number 4, discover when you are most tired. And number 5, discover what types of food you are craving for. So in the morning of Friday morning, this is what's going to go up. It's going to give you a start. It's going to give you a summary of what your day is going to look like. Print this out and have it ready because you're going to go through this phase, right? So it's going to have this. Just notice this, okay? Your breakfast here is one-time protein, and your last protein is right here at 5 o'clock. You don't get anything else. You need to take these and all the water exactly when you need to take it, how much, it's going to tell you, all of that, okay? So let me take you through the entire 352. So, you know, we had to color code the mornings. It starts out mornings, breakfast, it is red, okay? And then the lunches are going to be in green. And then the dinners are all in the black, okay? The title are so it'll give you a color coding. And then also it's going to tell you exactly which phase. It's going to go up every single morning and when and what you need and all of that. So it's going to give you a complete summary of what you need to do. So print these out, okay? All right, so 3-day of discovery lunch. And this is where it's at. That is it. You don't get the lunch. You just get the lunch is actually the vitamins. And I want to show you how much, plant-based MSM. We get 4 and 4. And so now let me take you through the 5 days, all right? So in the 5 days too, you get plant-based for the plant-based MSM for 4, all right? And here, again, 2-day weekend diet, okay? So this is where we're going to have a La Vida Loca. Nope, it's not. So you're going to have, actually, let me go back. In the 5 days, let me show you, you actually are allowance 5 proteins, right? Every 2 hours, you're going to take protein. Why? Because protein is very difficult, almost virtually impossible to store as fat. And we're building up your BMR. It's just like battery, right? So it's very important. You're only going to take protein shakes, though. You don't have an option here. You're always going to finish off the day with protein shake. That is how you're going to to be able to keep your weight off and maintain and all that good stuff. So let's go through the two-way real fast, zip through. And so this is what that looks like. You're going to have an option, no carbs, but lean protein and as much leafy greens. And you know it's eat me anytime, right? So let's go through the 3 days of dum-da-dum. Why is it in gray? Don't get your mind all, crazy. This is just an extension of a 2-day. It's just the same as 2 days, nothing different. So this is where you're going to learn to maintain your weight and keep it off, okay? So it's exactly the same 2-day weekend diet, right? So this is what that looks like. But this is the pièce résistance, okay? The only thing I would say is everything looks amazing except for the avocado. You got to really limit that. Maybe you could have maybe a quarter or less than that, but you got to limit the fat, okay? Because when you introduce fat, that is just like another form of carb, and the body wants to start, using that up before it starts burning the fat, okay? It's not going to use the stored fat. And look at this. Can we live on this? Absolutely, we can live on this. So that is it for the introduction of DDD352. Thank you so much. And remember, stay healthy, spirit, mind, and body. My name is Esther Suhr. Bye-bye.